Hey, hi, hello, how are you? I'm Pia and today I'm going to be doing my April 2021 wrap up. So during the month of April, I read a total of 6 books. Now, I'm not gonna complain about the fact that I'm not reading as much as I used to, because I definitely could and, you know, make a ton of excuses. I don't want to get personal, so you know what? We're not doing that. I've pretty much filmed my thoughts. I'm sorry, I just yawned. The first book that I finished was a carryover from March, and that is Dress Codes for Small Towns by Courtney Stevens. I don't know why it took me so long to get through this. I think it's just it wasn't my favorite book, and it wasn't one that I was like super enjoying. This I read for my Reading Like Books and La La video, if you haven't seen that. I read this and a couple other books. I actually have another one I have to talk about. Yeah, I was just expecting to love this and I really didn't. I went into it thinking it was middle grade and it wasn't. I just wasn't very attached to this book, so it took me a while to get through it and it just wasn't my favorite experience reading it. So I think I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. It was okay, it just wasn't what I was expecting and I didn't get that much out of it. Then I read You Must Not Miss by Katrina Leno. This one blew my socks off, knocked my socks off, I don't know, something like that. Threw me for a loop. Such a crazy story. I don't even know, I don't even know what I read. This is about a girl who has very, I want to say bad luck. She has a lot of bad things going on in her life or that have happened, and so she writes this world in her journal of this place that she can escape to that is, you know, perfect, quote unquote, right? She finds a way to be able to actually travel there. So it's about this otherworldly place, and obviously it's not as perfect as it may seem, and she ends up doing some really crazy things, and it's just a crazy story. It is absolutely nuts, but it was so crazy, and it's really just kind of examining that thought of what could you do if you were in control of everything, you were in control of your own world, and you know, the lengths you would go to try to make it perfect. And it was just so crazy. This is an unbelievable book. I had no idea I was gonna love it this much, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. This is a showstopper. Really surprised me. It was really good. Then I read The BFG by, what is it, Roald Dahl? Yeah, I read this when I was a kid, and for some reason I was like, I want to read it again, you know? Probably have the book somewhere, but I listened to the audiobook of this one. I don't know. I just wanted to see if it stood up. I didn't rate it. It definitely wasn't as exciting as I remember it being from when I read it when I was you know, 8 or whatever. I definitely thought more things were going on. I also just didn't really remember the plot of how, you know, people all hated these giants, and obviously this big thing of it's okay to be different, and you're learning that as a kid. And yeah, it's great. I mean, it was good. Then I read The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. This is Christina Lauren's newest book. Hasn't come out yet. Let me see. Come out in May. Probably up by the time you're watching this because I'm so bad at videos. Maybe I could get this up before that. It's coming out May 18th. Okay. It's about a single mom who works in statistics, and her friend gets her somehow roped into taking this genetic dating thing, and she ends up getting matched with one of the guys who created the company, and it's the highest match they've ever seen. And they're like, well, we're not saying you should try this, but we'll pay you to see where this goes, because it's incredible for the research and then trying to prove that this dating thing is credible. Does it really matter about the number, are genetics really determining this, or is it, you know, us and it's something else? And it was super interesting, and it was super good. I think the concept was fun, and I liked that we saw kind of more family dynamics because our main character was a single mom, and I really liked it. I believed the chemistry, and I had a good time with the fun stuff going on, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I don't think it's my favorite Christina Lauren, but it's definitely a really good one that I don't think you should skip on. Then I read If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy. This is another arc that's coming out in August. Definitely not out by the time you're watching this. Yeah, so this is Julie Murphy's first adult book, adult romance. I couldn't remember the word there. It is a Cinderella retelling, and it has to do with a reality dating show, kind of like a Bachelorette. Bachelor, more accurately a Bachelor kind of situation. So we have our main character, and of course she's plus size because this is written by Julie Murphy, so we have that representation, and she chance meets this guy on an airplane, and they hit it off or whatever, and then he ends up the Bachelor on the show. And so she's like, wow, I kind of liked this guy already, I was just here for a laugh, you know? And obviously she sets the world on fire, you know, not conforming to stereotypes. I thought it was good. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I recently read, maybe even last month it was, or maybe it was in February, One to Watch, which kind of was the same thing. I think maybe, I mean, you could take it both ways. One to Watch is, you could say, more intriguing because you don't know from like right off the bat who she's like vying for, because she is like the bachelorette, and whereas we have the main one guy and the girls. I'm sorry, I don't watch these shows. I don't know how they work. So you can take it different ways. I think that just in general, Julie Murphy writes her characters really well, and I felt more attached to them, and I think she did a really good job there. Just because this is like a common trope now, I guess, in romance right now, is like the dating show trope. It just wasn't anything new for me, but I did enjoy my time reading it. It just like wasn't my favorite thing. Lastly, I read Chasing Lucky by Jen Bennett. This I listened to the audiobook of. This is Jen Bennett's newest book. If you've watched my channel for a while, you know I love Jen Bennett. I love her romances so much. I just think they're so multidimensional, multifaceted, and authentic. Just really swoon-worthy. So a girl named Josie, who is moving back to this like small New England town that she used to live in when she was a kid, but after that, her and her mom kind of went from place to place, didn't really live anywhere for a long time, and she kind of has this growing resentment of her mom. She doesn't know her father, but he ends up being this like incredible photographer, like world renowned, and so even though she's moving back to this town, she's planning to finally get away from her estranged mother and move in with this father that she doesn't know, and getting this internship or something like that. Being that she's back in this town that she used to live in, she comes into contact with her old best friend named Lucky, who has kind of transformed into the town's bad boy. And so they strike up a friendship. Something happens where Lucky ends up covering for Josie for something that she did, and she's kind of trying to figure out why he would do that. You know, they don't know each other anymore, and kind of what this relationship really is, and what is, you know, the merit of it if she is leaving this summer or whatever. And it's a lot, like Jen Bennett books tend to be, it's a lot like deeper than just like a cute little romance, because we do have these really complicated family dynamics. Her relationship with her mom is really interesting, as well as like her relationship with her maternal grandmother, and her mom's relationship with her grandmother, which we kind of see a lot of character development and growth with all the characters there. And I mean, obviously it's a cute romance. I hate bad boy romances. I just hate bad boys in general. Like, why can't we be nice boys? It ended up with like a twist on it that wasn't so more humanizing. So I didn't feel like, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't feel like I was reading, you know, Jess from Gilmore Girls, who I hate. So I was very happy about that one. And yeah, it was really interesting. It was a good time. I think I give this like 3.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, so those are the books that I read during April. Hoping to read more as always. We're finally getting into the summer months, which is crazy. I can't. It is May. Anyways, let me know what you guys read this month, or any like standout books that you read this month, especially anything you're surprised about, or if you've read these books and want to let me know your thoughts. Maybe you hated the ones I loved, or maybe you loved them as well. So let me know down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. I love having a little chit chat down there. Yeah, with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!